Today is Good Friday, and we remain in exile. We would typically reflect on Jesus and his time on the cross, since this is the day Christianity believes he died. But I'm not going to talk about Jesus this Good Friday. Instead, I want to talk about the Apostle Paul. We don't think about Paul being in exile very often. He was, after all, a well-traveled missionary. But Paul spent 2 years in exile in Rome. Today we would call it house arrest with an ankle monitor. Back then, it was a ball and chain. I'm going to take this to a personal level now. I have a stepsister in exile. She's in hospice care. That means she is facing the last days of her life in a facility away from everyone she knows and loves. Her only daughter is in California and is trying to wrap her head around the fact that she'll never see her mother alive again. We can't really call and talk to her because her speech is so bad, she can't carry on a conversation. Earlier this week, I wrote her a letter, and it was difficult for me. Writing letters typically are not a chore, but this one was. Afterward, I realized it was because I've begun my grieving process for this 58-year-old woman who must die alone. And she's not alone. Think about all the people in hospice right now. And think about those nurses who are trained for this selfless career. And now they have no support from family and friends. How much letters must mean to the few who get them. What does this have to do with Paul in exile? When Paul was in exile, he wrote to those who were not. Several of our epistles were written by him when he was in prison. Can you follow Paul's example this Good Friday and reach out and send a card or write a letter to someone? You know, from one exiled person to one worse off than you.